Thank you very much, Steve. England were greeted onto the field with a boo to defy all boos, and then the band started booming out sound that has made the Stade de France shake. The ground is shaking beneath our feet, Brian. Brewing up nicely.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this all week. Should be a monumental clash. And those boys down there in England, the front five especially, they've got to do a job today. They can't step backwards. They're going to pile into the French right from the first whistle.
England have this key to beating France. It's simply, well, it's more than suffocation, it's almost castration, isn't it? They just hit them where it hurts and just keep on squeezing.
Well, it's going to be brute force, and there's a place for that, absolutely. And the French, well, they've had 5 months to think about this, and I expect the first 15 minutes to be extremely fierce.
Do you think that World Cup defeat, it obviously has affected the French players, do you think it'll be driving them to hysteria? You know what it's like to play against France when they lose it.
Well, I sincerely hope so.
Before the action, some soft music. Beethoven's Ode to Joy. It'll be anything but joyful out there. 100 years ago, Britain and France signed the Entente Cordiale, a pact of non-aggression. It'll be anything but cordial out there as well. Up for it. The final face, that of Imanol Arinaldaki of the Basque Country in the French back row, the back row that was humiliated at the World Cup. Frédéric Michalak, he too suffered in that World Cup semi-final. So much was expected of him, he failed to deliver. Serge Betsen, he was yellow carded in that World Cup semi-final, but he'll be looking to do damage on England's number 10. And here is the England team, including Ollie Barkley at 10. He came in for the injured Paul Grayson. Barkley, who played so well against Wales at Twickenham, is back in the England side. And if it's a battle of back row against number 10, Richard Hill, the old maestro, will have as big a role as anybody out there tonight. Grand old night here at the Stade de France. I love nighttime rugby.
Well, there are a lot of things. Alan Rowland there, he's got a big job today. Got to control the early exchanges, which are, as I said, I think will be fierce. But there are big battles everywhere. All the units, front row, second row, back row, centres, halfbacks, back threes are all absolutely crucial today.
You know, we waited for that first line out, England versus Wales. Do you think we're waiting for that first scrum tonight?
We're waiting for the first scrum, the first ruck. Everything is going to be predicated by the two teams' packs' desires to get on top.
The final game on the final day of the RBS Six Nations Championship couldn't be bigger, couldn't be better. It's France at home against England, and what weight on the tender shoulders, not so tender, of Ollie Barkley as he gets the game underway. France secure. Frédéric Michalak played scrum half. He does play a lot for Toulouse at scrum half, and he's there again. Nicolas Brusque, the fullback, to Jason Robinson, and that crackle of electricity goes round the England supporters here. Good support work. Josh Lucy, hard hit there by Pepito Elorga, the French winger. Phil Vickery, tonight without his scrum cap, the captain, Lawrence Delalio. Matt Dawson feeds Barkley. Joe Worsley comes in on the switch. England take play right across field. France up very quickly in defence, too quickly.
Well, an early point. Oh, here we go. It's all kicking off. And Roland's going to try and bring some sanity. Oh, it's Harry Ordinary, as Lawrence Delalio likes to call him.
Yes, Imanol Arinodaki having a little altercation with the England captain there, and it's an early opportunity. The penalty had been awarded England's way even before the two back rowers had a little dart at each other. Ollie Barkley, his first shot at goal.
Well, we're probably going to say during this game there are many big points, but this would be a very warm welcome for Ollie Barkley if he can slot this. It's not an easy kick. Very early in the game to get England in front. French a little bit of ill discipline, and it will settle Barkley as well, because he will be under pressure.
You don't get the hush of Lansdowne Road here. Short, just wide. Elorga takes his time and then fires out a pass to Michalak. Michalak, who had such a good World Cup until England ran all over him. Good catch, Matt Dawson. Josh Lucy comes into scrum half. England, though, go through the forwards first. Good defence by France. England losing ground. Phil Vickery can't make any progress. Ball's gone loose. England win the scraps. Mike Tyndall. Ben Cohen watches it bounce in front of him. Good strength. Elorga feels the weight of the Northampton winger. Score of 2 tries against Wales. Richard Hill. Tyndall again. Peter de Villiers, the South African raised prop, makes the tackle, and then Barkley pushes it behind Dominici. Christophe Dominici, who was guilty of that trip on Jason Robinson in that semi.
Well, first line out, but England are choosing prior to this was not a great pass, but they're choosing to try and engage the French close, but in order to do that they need to come from more depth. Forwards can't pick the ball up with 1 or 2 yard start and hope to make ground.
William Selvat to Arnaud the Key. Selvat goes in and controls the drive, and it's making ground. A lot of ground. England on the back foot now. Michalak, Damien Traille came in on the angle.
2 in the side.
It's a penalty against Steve Thompson coming in through the side door. Michalak takes it quickly. Selvat, the hooker, good pace from the front row forward. Michalak at scrum half. Yashvili, the scrum half, and outside half. Traille again takes it up. Contact first. Dimitri Yashvili to Magne. It opens up for Olivier Magne. The lob pass to Marconnet, the loose head prop. They batter on through the forwards, through France. They're that close to the try line. The captain, Fabien Pelouse, is tackled by Phil Vickery. Danny Grucock goes digging, has to get his hands off it, or has he turned it over? France get the put in. Good defence by England, good scramble defence, because they were on the back foot.
Well, England guilty of inattention there. The French choosing not to kick the ball into touch, but quickly.
Here's your mark, fellas.
And when they went wide this way, just temporarily, you thought that Magne may have got through that gap, but that gap was caused by the England forwards who were in the previous maul, just not getting up quickly enough and not getting back into line, and that's ill discipline.
Well, they had to bury numbers in the maul because it was going backwards. Good play by France.
It was, yeah, but then again, you know, if you're not going to compete on the jump, then they're going to get a solid base and they're going to be able to drive. England can't afford not to compete like that, because if they give France the platform, they're a powerful pack and they will take advantage. And they've got a great attacking options here. Both left and right are open to them.
Time out to stop the clock. William Selvat, the hooker with the headband, is Peter de Villiers. He missed the World Cup. He served the drugs ban last year, and then he fell off a bicycle coming down the mountain. France with room either side. Scrappy pass from Arnaud the Key to Yashvili. England have turned it over. Cohen thinks he can take on Elorga. It works again. That looks like an unfair contest. Ben Cohen against little Pepito Elorga.
Yeah, and that may well count if Cohen gets any sort of chance near the line. He took too well against Wales, pounding his way over. Important turnover for England there. And the French really contributed to their own downfall, because not precise from the scrum, just shoving the ball backwards. Really, you know, it's not the spot ball that Yash really wants.
Service from Arnaud the Key, not what the scrum half wanted. Steve Thompson, Danny Grucock comes forward, Ben Kay comes forward, Kay the target, over his head, Hill taps it back well to Dawson. Will Greenwood drives it up in midfield, quick ball for Dawson, got a bit caught up, ran into his own man. Accidental, but a scrum down, France ball.
Well, England did get that ball. Yeah, it was accidental.
No ball, no ball.
But England got the ball from the line, but only just.
Steve Thompson
engage
in the middle of the England scrum. England go up.
That's a good drive though, wasn't it? Good drive. Woodman, because he's shorter, getting under de Villiers, and de Villiers is one of the best tight ends in the world.
Referee Alan Rowland comes round to this side of the scrummage. It's a better scrum for France. England once again pop up. The feed from Arnaud the Key was better, but not great, and then the pass on was bad. The kick ahead. Arnaud the Key goes back to cover. Well picked up, Olivier Magne. Hands off Thompson. France count. Oh, thumping tackle. Phil Vickery. Fantastic tackle by the Gloucester prop. Oh, you feel that up here. defence, just kick it downfield. And Olivier Magne is down. He's not out, but he's down.
Well, watch this. What a tremendous hit that was. And Magne is a powerful man. Vickery's 19 stone. Take that.
It's one of those moments when you're fast of foot, you think, oh, a prop, I can take him. And then
Phil Vickery, his ear has taken a bit of a bashing in that, but not as much as Olivier Magne's ribs.
Nearly shaken off. He may have to go off. The old collie on the other side. The collie on the dark side of the moon.
Stay out, fellas, White, stay out, out.
He'll feel good though. He'll have a burning ear, but he will feel good. Selvat. Up goes Magne. He's recovered well enough to win that line out. And again, France think they can grind England back. It's working well again. Doesn't have to be done quickly. They're very considered. And now they come through Michalak. Michalak half through. Hill makes the tackle, went forward. England have the advantage.
Hands off.
Turnover.
Turnover ball. All the work of Richard Hill. Josh Lucy with the kick downfield. They'll come back for the scrummage.
Well, France again getting a good platform there, but importantly again knocking on.
There's your mark, fellas. White's up.
Ball going forward. Good tackle. Oh, actually stripped by Richard Hill. Tremendous piece of defensive play there. Good camera work. Well caught.
And hold. Engage.
England put in, and it's a good solid England scrum as well. Delalio
Hands away, lass.
makes ground against even the tackling of Serge Betsen. Mike Tyndall with the clearance.
Well, let's see if England actually make any use of Lawrence Delalio's strength there. Serge Betsen, very powerful man, has to bring him down. England haven't competed for the last two, and if they don't do that, the other thing they've got to do is to drop the maul straight away. Once French get going, they've shown they'll make 10-15 yards.
Clean line out ball off the top. Damien Traille.
7 away.
Olivier Magne.
6 away.
Joe Worsley makes the big hit this time. Not quite as big as Phil Vickery's. France recycle. Traille, much called upon in this opening quarter. Another scrappy French pass to Christophe Dominici. Good tackle, Lawrence Delalio. Dominici was heading backwards and Delalio sent him even further backwards.
Well, that's good predatory work by a lot of the England players. They've forced France into another error. He's not very big, Dominici, and there he can't keep control.
No ball, England ball. Hold.
Good first England scrum. The French were saying how well they would do in this area, and they haven't done yet, and that's not... No.
That's good scrum work by France. They've stolen one against the head. Michalak, Josian. Scrappy play, advantage to England. Josh Lucy. Advantage is over now, so Michalak will have to play it. He's on his own back there. Jason Robinson, infield to Ollie Barkley. Wide open spaces. Harry Nordicky watches Nicolas Brusque.
Well, the upshot of all that is that England get a line out in French territory, but something's never changed. You cannot afford to give the French loose ball. You know, Lawrence Delalio choosing just to flick that and they're away, but the problem I think for the French at the moment is I think they're trying too hard, you know. I think they're trying to force things.
Yeah, the passing is not good, is it? Danny Grucock with the clean catch. England doing to France what France were doing to them. Very measured. Matt Dawson steering them, telling them where to go. Now the release. Barkley. Josh Lucy. Wasn't held, could get back up. Spectacular tackle, but it allowed Lucy to carry on. Trevor Woodman plays scrum half. One for Ben Cohen to chase. Finds only Brusque. Josian flips one up. Pelouse goes down. That was touched by an English hand. That'll be a French throw.
Well, a lot of nervous exchanges, but that's a good drive by England. They need to do that. Steve Thompson, the guts of that. Grewcock working hard. If that is set properly, it's very difficult to bring it down without giving penalties away. Release the ball when they're going forward.
Pascal Papé, the second row there. He is the target, wins it well. One-handed delivery to Yashvili again, loose passing. Ty sets up the ruck. Quick ball though, it's good for Michalak. Inside to Marconnet. Michalak. Yannick Josian of Toulouse. Dimitri Yashvili to Serge Betsen, his Biarritz teammate. Penalty against France. Blimey. Referee wanted it played immediately. What's your definition of immediately?
Well, I don't know. I think it's because he's wriggled around there. He is held, he's going to release it. But anyway, that went forward anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just for a second there, Eddie, I thought England had come in narrow again. They've got to count very carefully. The French had a lot of players out there.
What's Sir Clive up to? He's talking to Joël Dumais.
They can't use the ball in goal.
It's about the replacements. The England replacements are behind the goal and they're messing around with a rugby ball. And the old international referee, who's now part of the French Federation, Joël Dumais, says, no, don't do it. The point is that England are still playing with the ball in the in-goal area.
And that's fair enough, actually. You know, referee looks back, can't see depth of perspective and stuff like that.
Back to the one ball that matters in the hands of Danny Grewcock as the rest of the England pack come around him, turn infield and try to drive on. They'll have to play it quickly. Dawson pulls it out. Ben Cohen came in. The tackle was by Michalak. Greenwood. Good dart and offload by Greenwood. Tyndall on his shoulder. And this time it's Mike Tyndall who doesn't release. Just see if Tyndall gets up here. He seemed to fall quite awkwardly then. That's Trevor Woodman up and away.
No, he's hurt, yeah.
Tyndall's down.
Well, he looked to be slightly off balance when he came through here. Gets sandwiched there, that's it. Yeah, he's in pain immediately. England not there quick enough. Betson trying to rip the ball away.
Tyndall's up, back on his feet. He's a big lump, isn't he?
He is, though. He's got a lot more than that, you know. I think he's maligned at times. People think he's just a banger, but he's got greater skill than that.
And he's a good tactical kicker as well. Selvat, the hooker. Ali Nordaki dummies a jump. Pelouse wins it behind him. Ty Mania was out in the three quarters. Didn't go into the line out. Selvat. The hooker has been wrapped up by Danny Grewcock. So it's slow ball. Michalak. That could be very useful. Dominici just fails to gather. A quarter of a chance there for France. The variation.
Yeah, and if you ever let the ball bounce, it sounds obvious, but the shape it is, you cannot rely on it coming back into your control. Grewcock is down and hurt. French don't like it, but he's not the sort of man to roll around for no reason. He's not a soccer player. Was he onside there?
I just wonder whether Jason Robinson could have got to that.
We'll see.
Can't see from there. The England replacements back in their cage. Danny Grucock is up on his feet. It's going to be an England put-in now. Because England are in their own 22, France really might just go for the full blast here.
Well, they should do. I know from personal experience that there'll be a lot of weight coming through there. And they've gone for him, but they've held him.
Alain Roland says it's going to be another England put-in, but signs of creaking.
Well, he said push straight. I'm not sure that's a fair criticism of the French, to be honest. It's gone down this time. What has happened to referees penalising the scrum going up? I think there was a rash of it, and this season we've seen far less.
Yep. I wish I knew the answer, Brian. Good French scrimmage. Yeah, well, he must have heard you.
No sooner said, and he's right. He's right. Phil Vicker complaining that they're driving up, but he has got to get his shoulder round and down and drag it down again.
Well, there is a theory that France do drive up, but Selvac did come up.
Well, actually, I tell you, there are two things that Lewis said. There's a legal one where you get under the chest and it's good scrummaging, and I think if you step out that half a yard, it's anatomically impossible to stop someone driving your right arm up. And referees have to be very careful because it's cheating going out that bit further because he can't do anything about it. And I think that he actually did it legitimately there.
The kicking duties have gone to Dimitri Yashvili.
He's very nervous so far, hasn't it? First score will be important for confidence. Both teams trying to play percentages, trying to get down there and trying to get the driven ball in control. Neither established it yet.
The left foot of Yashvili puts France into the lead at the Stade de France. First points of the game. The first quarter nearly passed without a score. France now lead through their little scrum half. Danny Grucock still receiving treatment, just joining the rest of the forwards now, but he's a long way behind the others.
And he's limping as well, and he doesn't look good.
Doesn't look right at all. The big second row, Danny Grucock. France, meanwhile, the pass from Magne to Michalak. Do you think Michalak looks more settled tonight than he did on that rainy night in Sydney?
Well, he can't look any less settled because he had a mare there, didn't he? He just imploded. A lot on his shoulders, but he's had a, it isn't wet today. He's had a better service. The French are trying to release it going forwards. Both packs know how important it is possession today, and neither has got on top, and that's why I've got a bit of a stalemate.
Danny Grucock is fit enough to win that ball. Will Greenwood runs onto the flat one, crossing in midfield. It's Joe Worsley. I just thought he'd gone so far in front of the runner that it was so obviously a dummy run. Yeah,
well, the rule is, does he actually take a tackling player out? And no, he doesn't, because the French centre was never going to get there anyway.
Bit of artwork at the Stade de France. I thought it might be something like, what's the French equivalent of Jack Russell? Just sporting artist. Sorry, I don't expect you to give me an answer.
I have no idea.
I don't think they get too many wicket keepers here in Paris. I once saw the French national team play cricket at Audley End.
Were they good?
They went back.
This is a long kick, is this, isn't it?
Martinique.
How long is this?
Big kick. Damien Traille hooked it. Danny Grucock is down again. I think he was down for a massage, wasn't he? Yeah. Wow. It's not a very private massage.
I don't think he's talking about that sort of thing. We need him to stay on because he's been the main source of line-out ball for England. Came back in for the game against Wales and added some real hard workmanship to the English scrum. Jason Robinson, wicked bounce. Special roar. Well, he couldn't do anything.
Jason Robinson and England get the button. The bounce was so wicked. He didn't get a finger on it, or did he?
No, I think it touched his shoulder actually.
Yeah. Danny Grucock is going off, and it's going to be it's not Steve Borthwick, of course, is going to come on. 1 second row for another, and that doesn't look anything other than permanent. So Steve Borthwick had a tough time with the line out against Ireland. A chance to put it all right. Line out ball won by Phil Vickery. Turnover for France. Well scooped up. Marconnet to Magne.
Advantage over.
Michalak. Josian, the centre. Can he get rid of the ball? He can't. The tackle was by Ollie Barkley. Here come Franciashvili for Ali Nordaki out wide. The bounce is everything. Beautifully taken by the Basque. He said some cruel things about England, and he's backed those words up with an action tonight.
Well, England narrow again. It wasn't just Harry Oke out there. There were 2 or 3 others as well that could have taken that unchallenged, and I thought just before that England were rocking significantly. Grucock goes off, they lose their own line. Watch here, there's acres of space out there, isn't there? Unchallenged completely. Bounce favours him, but he was there anyway. Don't know if he was in front, but can't see from this angle. But his feet are all in, he's happy. Simple try.
Ali Nordaki, he's been accused of vanishing in these brutal games. Very conspicuous there, but was he offside? We'll need another angle. Yashvili sends it wide. France, however, extend their lead to 8 points. Emmanuel Arinaldaki, the first try scorer of the night. Here's the break. Yannick Josian set it all up after the line-out win.
Yeah, England are rocking from this point onwards. When the ball came wide, there were sufficient players to be dragged in the court. Found narrow again in defence.
The little 10-metre dink forward, well taken, not taken, well tapped back by Mike Tyndall. Lawrence Dallaglio, solid tackle on him. Barkley, Richard Hill, back to Dawson. No way past Betson. England go for the territorial game, and it works. They'll feel more comfortable down there. Mike Tyndall, good tactical kick.
Yeah, it was a good kick, but the French line out so far has looked rock solid. And this is where Borthwick and Kay really have to get up and challenge, because the French have got an 8-point cushion now, and they need to come back and respond.
Ali Nordaki with the line out take.
Let it go.
Big game from the French number 8. That's a huge thump by Brusque, but it's found only Josh Lucy. Jason Robinson. Well, Serge Betsen did ever so well to get Robinson down there. Richard Hill stretches well for it. Joe Worsley. De Villiers with the tackle. Barkley showed good strength against Wales, and that's a good half break by the outside half. Another one. by Ben Kay. Trevor Woodman carries on the good work. Steve Thompson too. Lucy, Barkley, another tackle, this time it's by Elorga. France have turned it over. Ari Nordaki with a chance to break. The surge of pace, Josian can't take it. Just when it seemed that France were through their sloppy phase of passing, they put another one behind Josian.
Well, England again committing a cardinal sin, losing the ball, and there was a lot of room there. There's a poor pass by Nordaki. Just one-handed shove there, really. It's behind him, and you can see there's an extra man out there as well if that had been timed properly.
Nicolas Brusque was on the wide outside. Phil Vickery.
Well, you know, England up front have started to respond. They've took 2 or 3 good drives there, but I can't understand the French domination there. 60-40 virtually. Possession, well, England have scrapped the ball back, but the ball was gone wide with England. You know, Greenwood found himself out of position because Barkley went behind him, and they haven't shown any penetration at all yet.
Good England scrum. Matt Dawson wanted to do one of his specials, but he probably had to wait until the front rows were up. Territory first. Lawrence Delalio deep in conversation there with Ben Kay. There's Serge Betsen on the side of the scrum.
And he's not. The rule is he's got to stay bound. He has to have his shoulder in contact with his own player. And what he did was he slipped round the side there, trying to con him and sketch his shoulder on an England player.
England from the line out. Steve Borthwick. Phil Vickery. Ball comes flying back. Joe Worsley. Betsen with the tackle. Now then, Matt Dawson. That is a trademark break, and he is allowed to make it. Joe Worsley plays scrum half, tries to do a Dawson, doesn't work. Pascal Papé swings a little right. Ben Cohen.
Feet.
Damien Tai is on the floor. France, though, still rush up in midfield to make the tackle on Ben Kay. Good hands, Ollie Barkley.
Well, again, England have gone left and right there, but they've only made ground through the kick by Barkley. Not quite getting away, not quite getting penetration. Kay going down there. Later on was a swinging arm.
First 5, Dawes.
Well, you can see the French line out absolutely rock solid, and another one maintaining 100%.
They've got 4 genuine jumpers: Magne, Ari Nordaki, Papé, Pelouse. And they're happy to drive from the line-out. They began in the Six Nations with a lot of ball off the top, but tonight they seem happier to drive it and then hit hard in midfield, this time through Serge Betsen. Brusque. Good kick under severe pressure.
Well, the French are getting their tactics right from the line out because, as I said, it is rock solid. That's allowing them to get a driving platform each time, and they're controlling the way the ball is going forward and the release of the ball, and because of that they're getting the better of the exchanges with England.
Now then, England throwing inside their own 22. There's Richard Hill. Good work by Steve Borthwick. Every line-out win for him is one memory of the Irish game put to rest. Still knock on by England in midfield. Tricky situation as well. They're that close.
And that's, well, Betsen is up there, it's in his face.
Closer, Hook.
Tremendous player, powerful.
Over. No. Pat ballon, no ball, fellas. Please wait for the engage. Hold, engage. Up. Stay on.
Solid French scrimmage.
9.
Matt Dawson is offside.
In front of the ball.
He's very good at that sort of thing, but you have to judge it finally, oh dear.
He can't do that. Was it a ballerina? He can't do that. That's ridiculous.
What is that leg doing up there?
Well, it's obstruction, isn't it? I mean, that's so deliberate.
Yeah. I suppose he could claim that he was just off balance, trying to control the ball with his other foot, but no, that's a kick for England, isn't it?
I'm sorry, you're in the twilight zone if you believe that. You really are. But well, it doesn't matter. French they're going to be 11 points up now. I don't agree. I really don't agree with that decision. But generally, I think they're good value for the lead because they've controlled the ball much more intelligent than England.
Yashvili with the 3 points that gives France, well, it's growing into a comfortable lead now. 11 points to 0 they lead. Matt Dawson penalised there for kicking into the scrummage, but he was grappling with a leg before that.
Well, the referee saying that he was offside, but he was obstructed well before that. The obstruction was the first offence, but England, they need to have some form of score very quickly.
That's a wonderful catch at the restart by Ari Nordaki. He's having a big game, is the number 8. And this is where a lot of damage is done. This is money in the bank for France. Mania leads the charge. Yannick Josian was not far behind him and took the ball so well. England have turned it back. That's a knock-on by Mike Tyndall.
Knock on here.
Yeah, but again, the French establishing the drive first, releasing when they want to, choosing to just dink in behind. England defence coming up quickly.
Looked offside there to me. Manu was offside, I think.
Hold, engage.
Well, he was obstructed anyway, so it's 6-1.5 just on the other.
Stay back 9, stay behind the ball.
Good French scrummage. The back row move. In comes Brusque from fullback. Switch of play now. Manu plays scrum half. Michalak goes wide. There's Ty. They've dropped it.
Lost it forward, advantage.
England's defence is good enough there.
Okay.
Just looking at the people left on the ground, it's Trevor Woodman getting up slowly. I think it's Sylvain Marconnet, so it's not Marconnet. Oh, good.
Dear.
See what damage can be done by when you hit a ruck hard. In fact, he just hit a maul hard then, but
yeah,
it's that's money in the bank. That's a bruise for somebody.
Well, it's your boxer's body punches and it doesn't count straight away, but it does later on. No, the French, I don't know about you, but they seem to me to be posing more questions around more areas of field for England. England, they're being stretched, no doubt about that.
England promised that we'd see the real England tonight. We haven't yet. Now then, Matt Dawson, Jason Robinson, he's the one spark of the season. Barkley. Mania watches as his opposite number Richard Hill goes by. Elorca takes on Cohen. Cohen does well to track back and make the tackle. Well played in defence, Ben Cohen. He's got to leave the ball alone. No, yeah, Ben Cohen on the floor, couldn't resist. You could see why he thought he should do it, because he knew England were under real strain there.
There he is. He's a tackling player. He's going to allow him to place the ball. He didn't do. And well, they were lucky he wasn't on the post there. Cohen does well here as he's turned inside out. But he managed to stay there and then just does too much. And well, if he puts this over, 14 points, that's 2 converted tries and another score to be back in front. And whilst there's lots and lots of time, it would be a very, very big effort to come back from that, from a base which England have shown thus far of little promise. just doesn't seem to be any penetration. I know England have got great quality ball, not a lot of good ball going forward, but they don't seem to have unlocked anything in the backs at the moment.
You were almost making the case for bringing on Mike Catt. If they do need to score 2 converted tries, as indeed they do, as France stretch their lead to 14 points, then maybe Mike Catt will appear after half-time. Maybe, who knows, the thinking of Clive Woodward. But 14-0, well, I'm just thinking, but it's not insurmountable, but these are 2 finely matched teams. At least they are on paper, with England having the advantage of that World Cup triumph. But France, now then, a chance to strike back for England as France keep putting their hands in the ruck.
Well, they need to take these points straight over the top there. He's looking to get a boot for his trouble really as well, but it's a very straightforward riposte. Will cut down the deficit. I think they really do need this to register. See Barkley there has passed 3 out of 4, and when it's gone outside it's not gone much further forward generally.
He's almost inciting them to boo at him. Ollie Barkley cuts back the lead, 14 points to 3 now. Ollie Barkley takes his place back in the England 22. Relief for England. They've been under the caution this first half. Lead back to 11 points. Can't take the restart. Ben Kay had to stretch and saw it go over his head. France get the turnover. Yashvili, a little room there for Yashvili. For the line goes Dimitri Yashvili. Good pick up. He's there. Solo effort by Dimitri Yashvili.
Well, I think that's good night Vienna. When the ball squirted back there, I was about to say that it was poor precision, but there's a very distinct lack of pressure from England. He had a lot of time to go back. You watch this, stand-off in, and because of that, well, that's very clever play. It's a very good, creative individual try, but someone should have belted him as soon as that ball came out.
Good awareness, Matt Dawson down on the floor. Josh Lucy came back, nobody at home.
And he knows, doesn't he? And he's happy, and so he should be. It was in adversity, you see, he's got to go back. Look, there's no one there. Someone has got to be on his back straight away there. And well, the ball bounced up kindly for him, but he created the kick. And in adversity, the best possible outcome. A disaster for England. Stretches the French lead yet again. And well, this would... And it's over.
What a first half for Dimitri Yashvili. I tell you, he's got a fantastic family history. There it is. Beautiful left foot. It doesn't just kick place kicks, it also puts kicks behind England, and good awareness.
You see in the background there, good camera, the French knew from the first second he kicked that he was going to make it.
Olivier Magne effortlessly plucks it out of the air. Here we go, what a half for Dimitri Yashvili, 4 out of 5. There's Nicolas Brusque.
Well, Eddie, you mentioned early on that the French were humiliated in the World Cup semi-final, but the same could apply to this half. Well, it may well, yeah, that's it.
It's half-time at the Stade de France, and it's all France here. Dimitri Yashvili, scorer of the second try. From England's point of view, a soft try. It leads, it means that France have this big lead at the end of the first period. Here in Paris, it's France 21, England 3.
What a tough 40 minutes for England. The physical encounter that England expected, Phil Vickery delivered with that huge hit on Mania. Yashvili's penalty broke the deadlock coming up to the 20-minute mark. And France strengthened their grip when Yashvili's superb crossfield kick was trustingly fielded by Harry Nordicke. 8-0 France. And then frustratingly for England, Dawson penalised, Yashvili adding the penalty points, France starting to dominate. Ollie Barkley gave England at least some hope, pulling the score back to 14-3. But it then became total French domination when Yashvili walls through the absent England defence. 21-3 to France at half-time, with a conversion added after this touchdown from Yashvili. OK, Jerry and Jonathan, their opinions in a moment. Let's go down pitch side to Jill Douglas and Sean Fitzpatrick.
Thanks, Steve. Well, Sean, do you see any way back into this match for England? What do they need to do?
Well, it's been all France. All the pressure on and come up. There's a huge second half by England to get back into this.
How happy will Bernard Laporte be with that?
Sorry?
How happy will Bernard Laporte be with that first half performance?
Oh, I think he'd be fairly happy, actually, with the way they're putting the pressure on the English. They're doing the basics very well. They're retaining possession. Every time they've had an opportunity to score points, they've scored it. I think that last try was a capping on the cake, really, just to put that final, nail in the coffin for that half anyway.
OK, Sean, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Steve.
Jonathan, Jerry, it's a huge occasion here at the Stade de France, and England just haven't risen to it yet.
Well, they haven't been allowed to. I think the French pack has totally dominated the game. English defence has been superb, and they've been patient. They've totally dominated the game, possession, territory, and they deserve to be this much in front, really.
England are in trouble here, aren't they, Jerry?
It seems so. The scoreline does suggest that, but it's been an epic Test match so far. It's been of sort of gladiatorial proportions. The physicality of this match has been amazing. The tackles, the hits have just been big, and this is Vickery on Mania. I mean, that was just enormous. Two big guys smacking, everything out of each other.
That's a massive hit.
He's a big man, Mania, and he's just taken clean off his feet, and it's great to see a front row forward doing that. And Richard Hill, we always know, is always, got the engine, got the dynamo to keep going. Great cover tackle.
And in those first exchanges, you got the feeling that England are here to compete.
Well, they turned up and to fight. They just piled in, and it was fantastic. And as Jerry said, look, it's another tackle at Worsley. It's a tackle that they have to make, otherwise they've broken through. And because of the amount of work that they've done, there've been cracks there, and the French have exploited them. And that's been the difference. They've kept the pressure on, they've been patient, and slowly chipped away, and they've come away with the points.
And there was a crack evident early on. Olivier
Yes.
Mania almost got through, didn't he?
This is from retaining possession. He gets the ball here, Mania, and he is like a back row forward. He's up against the front row, and Dawson makes the tackle. And then they're scrambling back, but they slow the ball down there. If you watch it here again, as the ball comes out, this is Mania now going to be circled. He's out up there against forwards. He spots the gap. The only guy who's going to get to him is Matt Dawson, which is great play by the scrum half. All this dotted line here are forwards, front row and back row forwards, and Mania knows he's quicker than them. The gap opens up and they slow him down here. Once it comes to the breakdown, they slow it down. The next example we see, they don't slow it down, and they're struggling to get back.
Well, England held their own through the first 20 minutes, and then it really all started to go wrong, as England seemed to be stretched in just about every department of the field.
They were. I mean, the French are the side that are playing with confidence. England have struggled throughout this tournament. We don't think France have got out of third gear. They've got into fourth and fifth. And this is really payback time from the semi-final. And I'm more than impressed with the French performance. They are playing with style.
The execution of Harry Nordicke's try was quite superb, but where were England?
Well, it comes again from the break. As the ball comes out, Josion just takes the ball. There he is. He's just going to hit the hole. It's a missed tackle, but he gets behind the defence, and all these players have been dragged into the corner because that's where the problem is. Just here they go, all these boys now scrambling back, the English white jerseys. They're going dragged away to the corner. Now this is quick ball, and that's the difference from the previous break. If he kicks it there, right in the bottom corner, is ordinary as Graham Moore called him. He's definitely onside, you see there. It's a superb kick. They had men over, and Haradonaki just casually puts the ball down. Fantastic try.
It is. I mean, we've talked about England being spread wide. Quick ball, and they've just been caught out. There was no communication. You had all the forwards out there, and they were exposed.
He was very trusting of the bounce there, Aaron Ordicke, wasn't he?
He couldn't get to it, could he? He had to trust the bounce. He couldn't get to it on the full, so a bit lucky on the bounce. He could have gone anyway, but they deserve it. That's the thing.
And then France started to pile on the points. Frustration for Matt Dawson as he was penalised to give away that penalty.
Well, I don't think he should have been penalised here. That's out of order straight away. And the ball's out. As soon as that leg's come out, the ball's out. And Dawson's more than legally allowed to do that. It's a bad decision by the referee. It should not have been a penalty, and it was incredibly crucial. That was a time where England wanted to get back into the game, but the referee, it's gone against them. When it's not quite going their way, and France are exploiting it on every occasion.
They're not doing anything. They are world champions, but they haven't played well this season. It's very difficult to trip a switch and say, let's just turn it on. They haven't done it all season, and they're not doing it tonight. The penetration isn't there. They're just hanging on in there and scrambling defence, because they haven't put anything together yet, have they?
We put question marks over the French 9 and 10 before the start of this match. They both had good games. And Yashvili's try really rubs it in for England, doesn't it?
Yashvili has been brilliant. Thought they would struggle without LSR, but Yashvili's just stepped into those boots and brilliant. It's very slack from the English defence. It's almost they're asleep, and you think that there's a bit of a mistake there, but he's spotted the gap. Nobody's at home. Robinson's out of position. Straight sprint to the line, and he's won it. It's easy.
I think what happens is, if you watch it here, the boss. The first thing they do is they don't catch the kick-off. How many times do we see this? And he does. It's a very opportunist try. As a defensive line, Jerry and I would know, once you've got the turnover, you've got to push up defensively. Robinson goes out wide because they have gone wide, and he spots the space and scores.
It's slack defence, they're asleep.
Yeah, well, you've got, as you know, from a kick-off, if the ball's turned over, they should take the kick-off. And if you see England, throughout the last couple of seasons, they've taken every kick-off. Once the ball is dropped, they all go up, so, they're flat defence. Robinson goes wide, he spots it. It's a good opportunist try, but poor catch from the English forwards.
England are in trouble, 21-3 down. We'll talk some more in just a few minutes' time. Let's just remind you that at Lansdowne Road in Dublin this afternoon, a triple crown for Ireland, their first since 1985. And in the win over Scotland, Gordon Darcy, one of the stars of the championship, got his first tries for Scotland. Better performance by the Scots, but Darcy's tries helped condemn them to the wooden spoon. Final score, Ireland 37, Scotland 16. Man of the match, Gordon Darcy. Right, let's take a moment to remind you of another big event tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, we're down by the Riverside, and we don't mean the River Seine.
Lawrence Delalio. There's Christophe Dominici, Matt Dawson. It needs a huge response from England now. Ben Kay, World Cup winners. Emmanuel Arinodaki, only a World Cup semi-finalist. Steve Borthwick. England against France, and England are struggling. Frédéric Michalak starts this last game of the RBS Six Nations Championship of 2004. At least England gather the restart. Mike Tyndall makes good ground as well. Steady start. They need to build from a solid base.
Yeah, but all it's done though is it's put France in with the ball. They haven't lost one line out yet, and not only that, when they've caught the ball, they've controlled it, released it when they wanted to.
It's a strange formation. They rush forward, then go back, and well played, Steve Borthwick. France lose their first line out. Frédéric Michalak was up very quickly on Joe Worsley. England, though, ride the tackle.
That's a maul, that's a maul. Cinq, recule, cinq. No,
better signs from the England 8.
Lâchez cinq.
Barkley. Dominici had seen the tactic, and France are back in force. No real pressure behind the very attacking defensive line.
Well, not a great kick from Barkley there, just dinked it into the area. France not under any pressure, able to clear the lines reasonably well. But a chink of light there for England, still in the first throw, and they need to control these ones.
Joe Worsley
It's okay.
wins the line-out ball.
Come on, get up! Stay there, low! Stay there, low! That's a ball! Keep it up, the ball!
Again, better signs from England. A more compact, a more pumping, driving maul by England. More like their old selves.
Move it or use it! Move it or use it!
They've had the instruction, use it or lose it. They use it. Greenwood, Cohen on the angle.
More! Hands away!
More fluency from England. Good pass out of the tackle. Lawrence Delalio and Richard Hill. Barkley. France are back. Yashvili. Oof, just for a moment. He nearly landed himself in real trouble, but in the end, that's a wonderful clearance by France's scrum half.
Yeah, he's having a good game, isn't he? Juggles it a bit here. Actually, I mean, not his fault because he was going against the direction of the pass, and he recovers very well.
I will try and tell you his family history when we get a moment, but it's pretty breathless out there as England trying to sort themselves out. Steve Borthwick again at the line-out. England trying to hurt France, where France really did some damage in the first half. Away they come with Ben Kay. The pick up by Phil Vickery. Oh no, saying England. Phil Vickery says me.
Well, Bernard Laporte says he's been very happy with France's first half display, but he said this is the time in a match when France are vulnerable. He says keep the ball, don't give away possession. As far as England are concerned, the mood is more aggression. That's what they're saying in the England dressing room.
They gave me no option on that one, okay?
Oh, and that's quite right as well. These drives have to be done, obviously have to be set up and done clinically, but they've got to have power with them, and England forwards are going to get lower.
Better from France, Alinor the key, Palouse on the loop. Joe Worsley made the tackle, Michalak. That's the strength of Michalak. Yashvili picked it up well, Elorga, infield to Sylvain Marconnet. Michalak, Selvat the hooker, wrapped up by Richard Hill. Quick ball low for France, to Mania. Mania bounces Mike Tyndall back a foot or two. Pascal Papé, the second row. Ty, Selvat again, the hooker, Richard Hill again. The tackler.
Hands.
Looks as if France is settling for the kick.
Watch it.
Wow, it's a great kick, isn't it? Yashvili with the service, he takes it. Michalak growing and growing in stature. Let's put the ball right in the heart of England's red zone.
Borthwick again at the line out. Very much a defensive operation. More aggression was the order at half-time to the England pack. Well, they've been more solid at the set piece. Elorga looks to see Brusque there, but coming up fast is Will Greenwood.
Well, he could have done that, but he doesn't need to. You know, France have got such a good cushion now. All they need to do is to win their own play, and as long as they keep the ball in the England half, England can't get penalties, and the French can just be disciplined in defence. So they've got all the options open to them.
Alinor the key with a line out again.
Hands away!
They've lost one line out, but apart from that first line out of the second half, France have been impeccable. And again, the very quick whistle It's the first player there. I think it's Olivier Magne arriving, going over the top of Serge Betsen, but going to the floor.
Well, Magne doesn't like it, and to be fair to him, a lot of times this isn't penalised. Well, he has gone on the floor, but I mean, to be fair to him, he did try, and the first contact he made was a tackling player. And I'm Roland is right technically, but a lot of referees let that go.
Charlie, Fabien. Complet.
Jacques Brunel, France's assistant coach, bellowing out instructions. Now then, England, was that forward? No, it's okay. Tyndall on the crash ball. It's gone loose though. Betson gets a boot to it, offside. England can claw back some points. Now then, Sir Clive tells Mike Catt to prepare for action.
Well, he had a dramatic effect when he came on in the World Cup, but he's going to have to do something similar to get England back into this game. They got the penalty there, but the release of the ball on the floor was poor. It was bouncing all over the place. It was not usable, and had Betson not been pulled for that, then they would have been away.
Les autres forts ici, je veux pas content, merci.
Peter de Villiers there. The French missed him, I think, in the World Cup, because a powerful man. Tied head is a cornerstone of the pack.
England nibble away at the big French lead. 21 points to 6 now. Mike Catt prepares to come on. Will Greenwood is going to leave the field. That's young Ollie Barkley, who is very much staying on. Mike Catt is on.
Well, Will Greenwood's season has been average by his own standards. Again tonight, showing much penetration, and looking to Catt for a spark of intuition.
Good aggressive catch and drive by Lawrence Delalio. Mike Catt's first duty is to pick a nasty little ball up, bounced in front of him.
Oh, it's a big lead, is this, for France, but England they don't have to panic. There's a good 30 minutes left yet. A couple of penalties, something like that, alter the complexion of the game completely.
Emmanuel Arinodeki is having a big game. Fabien Pelouse won that line out for France. And this is what France did so well in the first half. It's working again. France have lost it. England played it on the floor. Ben Kay singled out.
Well, initially the ball was going down. French appealed for a penalty. Everyone said, no, you fell over your own man. And he spotted an England hand.
Let me tell you about Yashvili. Grandfather Charles had 3 brothers. All 4 joined up as Georgians in the Soviet army in the Second World War. All fought at the siege of Stalingrad. 3 brothers killed. Grandfather Charles captured, sent to a concentration camp and conscripted into the German army. Escaped captivity and to France. Joined the resistance, fought for the French resistance and stayed after the war. Grandson Dimitri playing for France.
And playing with distinction.
True distinction. 19 points for Dimitri Yashvili, and France's lead back to 18 points.
Well, those people are saying that French resistance is an oxymoron, but It hasn't been tonight. They're well worth the lead. Point for point coming back, maintaining that gap.
Fabien Pelous with the catch. Good follow-up hit. The charge led by Delalio. Oh, untidy for Yashvili. Oh, that's his first mistake of the night. Well played, Nicolas Brusque, to run onto that bouncing ball. Oh, they've stolen it, England. Excellent work. A chance now for Ben Cohen. He's in. Turnover ball for England. First try of the night. Much more clinical. England are back.
Well, for the first time they've got the ball wide. That's the result. But good work up front to turn that ball over. Good response from England. Borthwick.
Steve Borthwick did the turnover job, and there's the influence of Mike Catt. Sends out the long, adventurous, visionary pass to Ben Cohen.
Well, he's not going to be stopped from there. Finishes the move off well, but for the first time England managed to crack the French defence out wide. First half, not a sign of it at all. Mike Catt comes on and he's created something. These points, they need every point they can get.
Stays out. England only get the 5 points, but there's plenty of time. The lead is cut again, 24 points to 11. France now start to ring the changes. Yannick Prue will come on at hooker. One to lose hooker replaces another.
Well, I think that's probably planned wrong, because that's not in a bad game.
Joe Worsley waits. Benson with the follow-up tackle. 24 points to 11. There's plenty of time for this to grow into something very exciting. Mike Catt, good kick. Here's the new hooker for France, Yannick Prue.
And we will see whether this change renders the French line out in seamless transition, or whether it takes time to settle in. Good line out stats from both people.
Pascal Papé got hands on it and tapped it down to Sylvain Marconnet.
Back, please. Stay. 5.
That's Ben Kay being told to go into the correct position. France break out singly, and again they're stripped of the ball. Steve Thompson, great skills by the England hooker. Haven't seen much of him in the Six Nations, and now is the time to come good. Mike Catt releases Tyndall. Excellent tackle by Josian. Donis Delalio. Dawson, they're trying to hit the blind side. They found space. Josh Lucy. His co-winger Ben Cohen was on hand. Jason Robinson, Delalio, Mike Catt. There's a new tempo, a new pace to this game now. Barkley, Benson just got to him in time. France has stripped England this time. Brusque. It's on for France. Elorga takes on Cohen. Hill is there to make the assist with Delalio. England penalised, not releasing.
Well, again, can't do that against France. Of all the teams in the world, they're probably the best at counter-attacking. Confidence to throw the ball wide there. Although Loeb is dragged down here, England don't allow him to release it. This is well within kicking range. Inside Cohen there. But does the right thing, doesn't let him get away. eventually wrapped up. I think it was Lawrence Delalio.
Clément Poitrenaud prowls the touchline, waiting for the moment to enter the field. Nervous moments if you're a replacement, because you must sense that this is brewing up into something a little bit tasty, and it might be decided, I don't know by what, a mistake, and you don't want to come on and make it. So Clément Poitrenaud comes on for Yannick Josian. Poitrenaud by inclination a fullback.
Nowhere near the same physique as well. Maybe England could make something of that.
Is it the cat factor? Has he inspired France to think about a change? Aaron Alderkey just about caught that cleanly. Or England might have collapsed that more. They've got away with it. Yashvili. Michalak long to Brusque. Dominici cuts inside. Dominici with a wicked feet. Tackled by Jason Robinson. About the only man who can step with him. Michalak plays scrum half. Poitrenaud is caught in there. Yashvili, it's only Fabien Pelouse chasing. I say only.
Well, Damien Try has come down there and someone shot him. I don't know, it was a toing and froing. I couldn't quite see, I saw him go down, but I don't know what happened before then. Hold his shoulder there.
Okay, I'm happy.
French are upset about it.
You can't come straight through to work, okay? No.
Shoulder injury.
You're offside. I wasn't happy where you were, okay?
Meanwhile, Alan Rowland.
Oh, deliberate, yeah, he's just banged.
Phil Vickery did the barging, and it's Damien Tye.
Yeah, and that's a sin binning without doubt. I don't know how linesmen don't see that. You know, I can understand how referees don't see it, but really,
well, Phil Vickery's got away with it. Not in the eyes of the crowd. Seis Betsen catches and twists. Michalak. Yeah, there's room out there. Jason Robinson plays it. Has to play it. Michalak. Brusque offered him the change of angle. Damien Tye up after his barge from Vickery, doesn't seem too hurt. Richard Hill is doing good work there, stopping quick release. Manya has to stop to take it. Cat and Delalio close in on him. Borthwick has to be careful. Alain Roland had his back turned. Neat little pass to get things moving for France. Dawson covers, slips, takes the tackle of Elorga. Excellent follow-up tackle by the little winger.
Yeah, and that means that the French will get a throw deep in the England 22. Look at that. Well, when your confidence is up, you feel you can do anything. Good follow-up work there as well by Elorga. And if the past history of these lineouts is anything to go by, the French will take this ball and drive it again.
He's having a marvellous game, Dimitri Yashvili. Out in all the key to Pelouse, de Villiers can't take it. Advantage being played. Cat picks up Tyndall from Bath, his clubmate. Not a good pass, but England have the benefit of that knock on by France.
Yeah, and England were looking at. I do not understand the French there, you know. With a free jump, don't need to do that. Could have just kept the ball, driven it. England could only have stopped it by pulling it down, probably giving a penalty away. No need to take that, to add two extra variables, including handling by a prop. Oh, no, he just pulled it back.
That was very nearly a big French scrum. It was big enough to put Lawrence Delalio off his stride. England still in the spot of bother from that big French scrummage. Barkley, though, with a solid clearance.
I don't think you can fault the England team for effort. It's been very physical. The forwards have really fired into their opposite numbers, but the French have just had more control.
It just makes you wonder, if the order went out at half-time to be more aggressive, why weren't they more aggressive in the first half? You know what France are going to do. They're going to come at you so hard.
I don't think there was a lack of physical aggression, but the non-challenging of line-outs and stuff like that, it's not the right signal to me.
Not coming out of there. No.
And when you've got a competent pack, and actually, let's be fair, the French pack is a lot more than competent. They're allowed to set these things up. They're perfectly capable of executing them, and they have done it, and they've done it consistently.
England have to go back 10 metres and face the charge of Ali Northerkey from that free kick against them at the scrummage. England play the ball on the floor. You can hear the cry, they're holding on.
Well, a couple of points there. I don't know why there was a penalty first of all, as a free kick in that scrum. Secondly, Ali Northerkey didn't take it from the mark, he took it from miles back and then just ran off. And thirdly, I thought he was hanging on slightly too long. But it doesn't matter because it's been given. And if he puts this on, well, you're up to a 16-point gap. It's more, 2 converted tries and another score. And Julian White is looking to come on. Had a big effect against Wales, but with due respect to the Welsh front five, they are nowhere near as powerful as the French. And the Marseillaise is ringing out. The French are happy, and so they should be.
Oh, the Marseillaise made him miss. 24 points to 11 of charge down. Might work well though. Ben Cohen.
Off their foot.
Now then, Matt Dawson with the break. Trying to do a Yashvili and kick it for himself. It's fallen only to Mania, to Michalak, to Poitrono. That's why he's on the field.
Well, when it's going your way, I thought when it left his boot it was going to fly out, but it dipped. And again it puts the ball just where the French want and need to be. Controlling territory. England have to drag themselves out yet again from here. Yeah, Mazzo is up there.
He liked that. Julian White is on the field. Phil Vickery walks slowly back towards the England dugout. England chant 2-3-4 to themselves, just trying to get a little rhythm going. There's not much rhythm here. Mike Catt forced into a hurried clearance.
What on earth was all that about? Lawrence Dallaglio standing flat, taking the ball back off him. I don't understand that.
Attacking throw. Yannick Bru, Fabien Pelous, the captain. Here's the replacement hooker. Ali Northerkey, who has won so much ball for France this evening. This time it's Olivier Magne who wins. Holds the ball out for Bru. France break free through Peter de Villiers. He's held up though. They have to set the ruck up. Michalak. Poitrono back to Michalak. A chance here for France as Brusque frees Elorga. Ben Cohen across. Slap from Michalak and the feed. Halfback switch position. Poitrono. And back they go towards that touchline. They might have number 6. Betsen to Elorga. Doesn't quite have the weight to force his way over. England pour back into that corner. France will have the butt in. Ben Cohen doesn't like it.
Well, good defence in adversity there by England again. But yet again they've been stretched right to breaking point. There are men out here, they should really have converted this. Good tackle there by Dawson as he stops him. You've got to remember, he is static, the French player's coming at full tilt. And if he's been a bigger man than Eloga, he would have swept him away with momentum, but Dawson did well there.
French put in 5 metres out. On comes the drive. They'll reset.
I'm happy he's on there.
If I were France, I'd just keep going for these. You don't need to do anything else. Just keep going.
Hold.
Very sapping. I don't know how they work this out. They say 7 tons of pressure in there.
That wasn't a great scrum for France if they were looking to use it as a real attacking platform. It has come back though to Yashvili. Fabien Pelouse ends up on the receiving end of a little bit of intricacy. Now then, Michalak is back for the drop. Dummies, kicks behind Jason Robinson, depends on the bounce. Robinson's there. Well read, Jason Robinson.
Yeah, it didn't work this time, and I think the French had an extra man there. Might well have been better to keep the ball in hand.
Eloga. Whoops, doesn't want to get caught by that white blanket. Not until the cavalry appear anyway. They did. Michalak. Bounce could be cruel. The old 4th bounce of a rugby ball usually pops it up. Yashvili, Brusque is wide out here on his own, so he goes back towards the corner, and England can't escape at the moment.
No, it's intelligent play by France, but as I said earlier on, the lead is such that this option is open to them. They just need to keep the ball in England territory, because all England can do is win the ball. They face a long, long way to the French line, and well, look at that, that's a massive statistic, getting 16-1 in the opponent's 22. As a result of French intelligent use of ball.
It's gone loose. Pape came through well, came forward. It's going to be a French ball.
Yeah, Bernard Laporte, I think he agrees with me. It was a message.
Pascal Pape, the big Bourgoin second row.
And there's line out there. Poor ball, bobbling around. We're a bit lucky, I thought it was the man is in front, I thought it was offside. Comes back to him, but it's a natural reaction to catch a ball that comes to you, but they haven't been penalised. But the French will get another platform in England 22.
France blocked their replacements, but meanwhile the 15 on the field don't do very well at that scrummage. Great England defensive work. Wonderfully managed by England, and can Matt Dawson turn that good defence into an attacking platform even though they're in their 22? Dawson again has to watch out, he's been grabbed by Peter de Villiers. Back up on his feet. Here is Dawson and here is Barkley. Michalak for himself. Cat offloads well to Trevor Woodman. Penalty to England.
No need for France to do that. Don't need to give penalties away with a big lead like this. What they'll succeed in doing is allowing England to relieve pressure, which they've been under constantly, as that stat showed, 19-1.
But at least England are getting near that French 22. Jean-Jacques Cancard comes on into the front row. The venerable Jean-Jacques Crenca, 34 years old now. But the scrummage won't get any softer because he's there.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There's a push there.
Okay, so England will take the points, presumably. 24-11.
Yeah, still 10 minutes.
Please.
Take the
Shot.
points.
Shot, fellas.
See here.
Anywhere in the 15 there, 10?
Well, I thought there was a shove.
Where is the shove?
No, there isn't one.
Yeah, just
I
take your own
apologise.
space. Just take your own space and help yourselves, okay?
You know, Eddie, I don't think you can actually say that England have played badly, particularly. You know, they've done a lot of they've won a lot of ball, etc. But the French have just kept a stranglehold on this game. The control has been magnificent from them.
I still think there's plenty left in this game. Not over by any means. Barkley knew as soon as it struck it, it was good. 24 points to 14. 10 points. Less than 10 minutes to go.
Well, if England do get back and win, it'll be like Lazarus from the dead.
I'm not sure whether it's that dramatic, but there we go. Mike Catt. Yeah, good bounce. This is where England need to be. This is where they haven't won any ball at all. The French 22. Oh, the old bounce of the rugby ball does for Lawrence.
A lot of people have questioned Lawrence Delalio's captaincy. I don't think that's the factor today. I think there's been lack of effort. If they are beaten, well, you can't do a lot about that, can you?
Steve Borthwick. England struggling to get this ball back. Oh, they have it now. Steve Thompson has full control of that now, and off they go. They'll go back into their 22, where Josh Lucy finds touch. Just thought for a moment that was going to spin back into play. Christophe Dominici was marching back upfield. He's had a few embarrassing moments in this Six Nations, old Christophe, but it was nearly another one.
Well, Fabien Palou, captain, he's got a bit of a knock, but he's grown in stature again. A good season.
Ben Kay, captain of the line-out. He's the target. Slaps it down, but it's untidy. Julian White sorts it out. Good inside flick. There's Ben Kay receiving the ball from Matt Dawson. England.
Offside!
Bit of urgency there. France playing through Brusque. Tyndall, good tackle. Poitrenaud delivers it to Try. France have handed a bit of turnover ball to England, and they might have done it again. Christophe Dominici clattered by Kay. Julian White. Mike Catt. Tyndall, great offload. Barkley to Josh Lucy. Lucy cuts inside Dominici. Great strength from Josh Lucy. This game is not over by any means. England refuse to lie down.
Well, that's fantastic work by the backs there. Good handling under pressure. Good use of limited space. Drawing them in. And he's still at a long way to go and a lot to do. That's a good tackle. Turnover ball. Embarrassing for Dominici. The point is that's quick ball there. Oh, that's good drawing of men. And well, you can't go higher on Josh Lucy. He's not a particularly tall man, but he's powerful.
Good hands by the inside players, and then a very strong finish by Josh Lucy. As you say, Brian, he's not the tallest, but he's a little beast.
Mistake from Michalak. He's in a position to make the tackle, and he should have done it. He didn't. England need Ollie Barkley to put this over. So he does. We're back in for a drop goal to draw them level. This has to go over. It has to go over. It has.
Beautifully struck by Ollie Barkley. 24 points to 21. Great game in Paris.
Well, it's building and building, isn't it? I've been looking forward to this. It was a superb test match. It's all the elements that you want in test match rugby. It's now kind of a thrilling finale as well.
Lawrence Delalio takes the catch. Harry Nordicki. Isn't it strange? Harry Nordicki had a wonderful first half, but as England have clawed their way back into this game, so you think all of a sudden it's the England back row that are more prominent, and there's somebody who's made an impact again, Mike Catt.
Yes, important change. His miss pass, it's England back on the road to recovery. Will it be enough?
Fabien Pelouse is off. David Auradou is into the French second row. France have lost their highly experienced captain, with Pape winning ball though. At least somebody is doing the basics well. Under 3 minutes to go. England trail by 3 points. France trying to wind down the clock with a driving maul. It's been a wonderful second half comeback by England. They've got turnover ball. Indirectly, they'll have to put it at the scrum.
Well, there's not long left, and England have got a full 70 metres to go. But they are only within one score of any sort.
Close and hold, engage. Square. Okay. Square, please, square.
Under
Hold,
2 minutes to go.
engage.
England are still in their own half. Joe Worsley, tackled by Seis Betsen. They think there's still time to work their way down. Mike Catt, good kick by Mike Catt.
Right, the England line out here, I think they've got to take a flyer, you know. They give a penalty away, well, it may be too bad, but they have to compete for this one.
What have we had? We've had 2 tries in the second half from England from turnover ball. They could almost let France win this and then hammer them beyond the forwards. Olivier Magne came down to take the throw. France slowly watch the seconds go by. Into the final minute. France just want to be deep in the England half. Jason Robinson will have to counter. Oh, great call. He kicks.
Well, I think you were right. I think he did have to counter.
Well, they'll have to make it count from the last play of the game. Last play, assuming no penalties, says referee Alan Rowland. There's Dimitri Yashvili, scorer of 19 points for France. But he needs to do something very basic here. Just keep France safe for another few seconds. They could even take it now to a breakdown and kick the ball into touch. Hoof the ball away, France, to Duguan.
Okay, no, don't touch him.
They're going to run it. Poitrenaud, Brusque, Dominici outside him. Brusque on his own. Now then, England can counter from Jason Robinson. Brusque tries to make a tackle. Robinson past him, Dominici holds down the England fullback. England though, this is their last chance. It's not going to work. The Grand Slam goes to France at the end of the Six Nations Championship. England have lost twice. France take the spoils on the night. They take the spoils in the championship. Captain Fabien Barthez raises his hands. It's another Grand Slam for France. What a game though.
Well, ode to joy. Everything else, unconfined joy here. And they deserve it.
Brian, your RBS man of the match.
Well, I think it's got to be Dimitri Yashvili, not just because he scored an individual try, but he set one try up. His service was good all game. He kept the French nipping away. He controlled the game well in conjunction with Michalak and a dominant pack. And this has been a wonderful test match, won deservedly by France. No lack of effort or application from England. I think on the day they were beaten by a better side.
They had a quite dreadful first half really, but what a second half they had.
Yeah, and if you look at those stats, a lot of their work had to be done right in the guts of their own territory. In respect of that, you've got to give them credit, but the French set the platform in the first half. It was too much in the end. Maybe they were guilty a little bit of lack of ambition in the second half in the sense to play the territory, but in the end it didn't matter because they controlled the game sufficiently, and they're delighted. They should be. Grand Slams, I won 3 of them. It's never easy to do this, and to be able to do that and do it in style is all credit. And this French team could well turn out to be a great team.
Sir Clive Woodward watches his slide go from the Grand Slam of last year and the World Cup into the mid-table of the Six Nations. France have won the Grand Slam and England have lost twice.
Now thanks to Eddie Butler and Brian Moore. What a climax to this RBS Six Nations Championship. England go down, but Jerry Guscott, they go down showing a long-lasting world champions character.
Woodward said the real England would show up, and they did. It's the best performance of the championship so far, but it wasn't enough. The French side, the game was worthy of a World Cup final. That's the intensity of the match. But the French were had more composure. They just controlled the game and put so much pressure on England. They just couldn't get out of their own half.
Well, deep down, I think Sir Clive Woodward might be pretty proud of his players, the way they performed in the latter stages of that second half. Let's hear from him. He's with Jill Douglas.
Well, Clive, I know you're bitterly disappointed with that, but how did you rate that overall performance from England?
Oh, we're disappointed. We thought we were going to win. We thought we had the side to win, and just the last 10 minutes just seemed to get away from us. And but we'll take a lot out of the second half. But this sport's about winning, and we've lost. And I think France probably deserved to win it just about.
Anxious few last minutes there. Did you think for a time there that you could come back and win this one?
Yeah, we're pretty calm, clean. Half time, 21-3 down. I just said we could keep building the score. Composure was good second half, and we could have won. Just last 10 minutes, we just kicked the ball away. I thought we should maybe just chance to handle it a bit more last few minutes, but I think France deserved to win.
How do you explain the fact that England haven't been able to rise to the levels that we know and have come to expect from them in this Six Nations?
The Six Nations was going to be difficult following the World Cup. We knew that, and I thought they competed very well today. I'm very proud of the whole side. It's been a difficult time following the World Cup, and there's a few new faces coming in, and it was disappointing, but no more than that. You got to know how to lose and how to win. So we've had a good season. We won the World Cup, so disappointing Six Nations, and we'll build from here and look forward to the summer. But I thought Young Barkley again handled himself very well. So you think of the players we're bringing in, you look at the positives, and disappointing. No more than that. It's got to move on.
Thanks very much, Clive.
Thanks, George.
Jerry and Jonathan, quick thought on those Six Nations champions. France really fulfilling all the expectations here this evening.
You can forget about the Southern Hemisphere. Those two sides out there tonight were the best two sides in the world. You forget Australia. I just think that these two will be a major force in the next World Cup. France on the day deserved to win. They were magnificent in the first half. and England came back and kept possession the second half. 2 changes were good. They struggled in the scrums, and they brought Julian White on and Carty on, and they came back into the game.
Meantime, England look on rather solemnly. But you were saying during the course of that match, Jonathan, maybe we're seeing the start of the French build-up to their own World Cup challenge here in 4 years' time.
I think so, when it comes to France, these will be there or thereabouts. They always are, and with home advantage and the home support, they will go close to the next World Cup. But Clive has had a good season, but now everyone will expect they are world champions and they've got to carry that mantle forward, Jerry.
Yeah, Woodward's got to be a bit more honest. England was stale throughout this tournament. There's got to be some changes made, whether it's more personnel in playing staff or whether it's the management. I think that's doing the same old thing. Woodward prides himself on preparation. He got the side up better than he has done so far this season, but it still wasn't enough.
It wasn't the last 10 minutes I felt they lost it. They lost it in the first half. The last 10 minutes, they were in it and they could have won it. It was the first half of the game went away from them.
And Dimitriashvili, he got man of the match and dispelled a few doubts about his form and potential.
It's just the same, if you've got a pack of forwards that dominates the game for you, it's an armchair ride for number 9 and number 10. And he exploited that and deserved the man of the match, the RBS man of the match award.
And Olivier Magna, I think, is about to receive that Six Nations Championship. Fabien Palou, the French captain, raises the trophy aloft, and the Stade de France shows its appreciation. Let's go back to some of the good things from the England point of view. Overall, it wasn't a bad performance. They just weren't allowed into this match.
I think the second half was 18-3 in England's favour. But as Jonathan said, it just wasn't hard or big enough in the first half. Ollie Barkley, again, you expect a little bit more control with him alongside Dawson. I thought Dawson had one of his better games today. He threatened the French defence, but the French were brilliant all round. Their defence was fantastic. They just squeezed England, and England really had very little answer, particularly in the first half. The French team were awesome.
But the manner in which England, as they retire down the tunnel here, managed to force their way back in the course of the second half was spectacular. What about the influence of Mike Catt brought on in the second half?
Well, he did the same in the World Cup. He's a calming influence. He takes a bit of pressure off Barkley, and he plays the game in the right areas of the field. It was his pass that created the try. It was a piece of vision that they needed to come back into this game, and Catt had the vision to put Cohen away.
Let's take a look at that first try. Great pass from Mike Catt. Set it up, Ben Cohen's finish, and at this point England's hopes were rekindled.
First of all was a turnover, and once the turnover came, the French outside defence had to come in and take the men because they were short on numbers. They had the overlap, and that's where the overlap was. But watch this pass from Catty. As the ball comes to him, it's a magnificent pass, great vision, and no one's going to catch Ben Cohen.
We'll talk a little bit more about the way England handled themselves in the final few minutes. But there was the moment that England took hope from Ben Cohen's try. Let's get a little bit more reaction from Jill Douglas, see who she's got.
Well, many congratulations, Bernard. We can see what this means to the team and the fans, but what does it mean to you personally?
I'm very, very happy because we want to win against the best team in the world. I think we play well during the first time, but in the second half we play not very well, but it's a game. We win, we are very happy, and when you win against the best of the world, you are more happy.
Does this make up in any way for that semi-final in Australia?
No, semi-final is finished. In the semi-final England was better than France, and we say congratulations to them. And after they win, today we were.
Is that pretty much what you expected from England today? Is that the way that you thought they would play?
Yeah, we know they play well, they play strong, they play with a kick, and they play well. But I think we were very good in defense, very good in scrum, very good in line-out. I think it's a logic victory, but slowly, one game after one game, I think the best team in the world is again for me England.
Well, many congratulations. Thank you, Bernard.
And I'm sure, Jerry, that France will at least feel, to use a Clive Woodward expression, they've drawn a line under that semi-final defeat at least.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, they played with style, and I'm sure they'll celebrate in style. Bernard Laporte, I don't think it makes up for losing the semi-final. It doesn't even come close to it. I'm sure he'd much prefer to be the world champion head coach. But they can take great spirit from this. And I think, the French had lost that spirit for a while, but on the back of this performance, you can think back to the old great French teams, and this is a side in the making.
I think they've gone back to basics. They've got a massive front row, the tight five, work in the scrummage, and also they work in the line-out, and that is the base that they build on. They were magnificent. This was a great test match tonight, and the physical aspect of it was absolutely immense, and this I think just expands the whole rugby now. It's magnificent, and
absolutely,
it's going to get better and better.
I think we can get a bit more reaction from the England camp now.
We can see the French out on the pitch celebrating. You know how that feels, but just how disappointed are you after that today?
Yeah, that's it's always disappointing to lose. Feels a little bit strange because I look at my players, especially the forwards up front, and their eyes, and we've come off that second half feeling, as if we should be walking in with a W, and then you think of that first half and the silly errors that we made. But I'm sure there were a lot of people who were watching that game. A lot of critics out there thought we were going to get whipped by 50 points in that half time, and Lawrence asked for a big dig deep. He led by example, and I'll certainly be patting those boys on the backside rather, and saying get their heads up, because they did England proud in that second half. It was a little bit too late, but I think we just have to tip our hat to the French.
Ben, did you think that there was a time there you could maybe snatch this one back?
Yeah, when we came out for the second half, I think, as Dawes said, we had a few words to say at half time, and we made a lot of mistakes in the first half, and I think we learned from them. And in the second half, we went out there and took it to them. And I thought there was a lot of big performances from some players out there, and we did nearly sneak it. Maybe a few more decisions went our way, or we didn't make forced mistakes, and I think that's what cost us, the mistakes we made. But all credit to France, they played well and deserved the victory.
Okay, thanks for the moment, Ben. Next to you, Ollie Barkley, who again got the late call-up into this one. Your feelings after that match, Ollie?
I think on the whole, I think the first half cost us massively. I think, turnovers we conceded in the first half never really allowed us to get into the game. I think from 15-20 minutes in, we were chasing the game about sort of 20 points down, I think. So, second half, I think we really dominated second half, but it was just too little too late, really.
What do you think the main problem was then in the first half?
I think we turned over so much possession in the first half, and we never really allowed to get a roll on. We ended up playing too much rugby in our own half, which cost us as a result of the penalties we gave away that Yashvili kicked. Again, I think turnovers were really are sort of nail in the coffin really tonight.
Okay, well, thanks for the moment anyway, Ollie. Cheers.
And a quick look at the final RBS Six Nations table. France's title. Let's pay a quick tribute to Ireland. Triple Crown winners, they take second.